Okay, well, we're responding to a perimeter.
Yep, on 47th and Hoover,
Yep.
where LAPD are on search for 2 suspects in possession of a gun.
Yep.
It's Sunday, May 4th, a hot day in South LA indeed.
Very hot. And this is what we have to be ready for, these calls that are on the go. And when you're in various locations, you gotta pretty much sit and wait to hear the calls, because a lot of people, when they're doing their own pieces, you know, they have to have these scanners and have to have these different cameras ready. But apparently these 2 guys are wanted for a gun, and we don't know if it's a robbery or something that took place prior to it, but definitely hold on to your seats, because it's getting real and it's getting hot.
Yep.
So, you guys, you are watching
NewZulu.com.
So we're basically going up to the scene, and we're gonna step across the street.
This is my building here. You guys need anything? No, nothing.
So we right here.
We are at the scene of a perimeter where 2 suspects have been taken into custody by the LAPD. On Thursday, April 24th, an officer-involved shooting took place in South LA. It was around 4 p.m. when the LAPD responded to an ADW call in the area of 64th and Main Street. After a brief chase, the suspect ducked into a building where the shooting by the LAPD took place. He was allegedly carrying a machete or sword-type object, and upon the police's arrival, he fled the scene, and the police then followed him into the building, and he was shot. He was taken to the hospital, and his condition was not immediately available and hasn't been reported on since.
Have your name and title, and basically what happened here today, Commander.
Sure. I'm Commander Andrew Smith. I'm the Commanding Officer, Media Relations and Community Affairs Group for the Los Angeles Police Department. And this afternoon at about 4:20, officers from the Newton station responded to a 911 call that said there was an individual running around in the neighborhood here that had a machete. Officers responded and they located the suspect armed with a samurai sword in front of 6601 South Main Street. The officers deployed on the suspect and attempted to take him into custody using the taser. That was not effective, and at some point an officer-involved shooting occurred. 1 officer was involved. The suspect was taken into custody. He's been transported to a local hospital, reportedly in critical condition. No officers were injured in this incident.
Okay, so do you know if he was basically wielding the sword at the time, or was he shot inside the store?
I believe he was shot outside of the store, but I don't have all that information now. Our Force Investigation Division detectives are here. They're canvassing the neighborhood. They're going to look for video. They're going to look for witnesses and get as much information as we can as part of our investigation.
There was this guy walking by the house on 64th, and he was with the machete in the air. I thought it was just a regular blind lady walking by the street, and there was another guy forcing with him, trying to take the machete away. 3 houses down, he got in a fight with a bum, and he pushed him and he broke a chair, I guess, on him. There was another lady wearing pink, and he told the lady that if nobody came to stop him, that he was going to kill her. He came down, walking down this way towards Main, went in the store and destroyed the whole store.
On Friday, April 25th, a shooting occurred in South Los Angeles during an attempted robbery. This occurred at a barbershop near 65th and Western. The 2 suspects entered the barbershop and shot and killed one of the members of the staff, Kevin Williams, age 32. Community members also knew him as Quincy, or Q the Barber, and friends and family described him as a beloved member of the community.
Can you say and spell your first and last name for the camera and your title?
Sure. Lieutenant Jeff Nolte, Jeff, last name Nolte.
What happened here today, Detective?
Today, about 5 p.m., 2 male black suspects enter the Western Hair Lounge. During the commission of a robbery, shots are fired. A victim is struck by the gunfire. private party transports our victim to an area hospital. Unfortunately, moments later, a treating physician pronounced our victim dead. Witnesses in the area described the suspects as two male blacks. No further description. Last seen running on foot from the location.
Candlelight of Kevin, there was two of his nephews who spoke out about the shooting, and one of them couldn't really describe how he's going to miss his uncle.
And I've been crying for him. He calling me his name, talking to Jesus. What they do? Then I said, Lord, please reveal him. Please, Lord, I hope he make it to heaven.
Quincy was a good man. We share the same birthday, our birthday the same day, and our birthday next month. And I'm very angry and upset because I had to get a call 3,000 miles away when my baby was taken from me. And I just got in just morning on the plane, and it was really messed up that y'all took such a good person. He tried to help everybody and do he can for everybody. And if you know him, you know what we going through right now. He's truly gonna be missed.
There was a recent rally or protest against Donald Sterling in South Los Angeles as well. The former owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, whose comments about black people were recently leaked in the media, and he has been accused of being a racist, and his team members and the society at large are largely against his words and his actions, and he is being pushed out of being the owner of the Clippers. Here's what is happening on the street.
Yeah, in the Sterling issue, we had the privilege of catching up with one of the Nation of Islam ministers at Leimert Park. And this is very, very important, especially in the African American community, on this issue, because not only are they the biggest supporters of basketball, but having a lot of majority of the members who play basketball, African Americans, it begins to start another movement aside from what has to happen with the owner. So is this happening just to this team, or does it open up an investigation? Well, you be the judge of that. This is what Minister Tony Muhammad had to say about the issue.
From what we understand, we've heard from Mr. Silver, who is the commissioner of the NBA. Now Mr. Silver needs to hear from us. We think that Mr. Silver is leaning in the right direction with getting rid of Donald Sterling for life and fining him $2.5 million. But there has to be another kind of talk that needs to be brought to the table. In order for our communities to heal, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said we need to use the 8 steps of atonement. And until the 8 steps of atonement is put on the table, then we cannot take this as a serious gesture. There needs to be talk. How many other owners carry the attitude of Mr. Donald Silver? He was in a good old boy network. Did they have these kind of conversations in the privacy of their lofty parties and clubs? So we need to search out more truth about many of the owners in the NBA, in the NFL, in the Major Baseball League Association, and those who control the talents of our people. I think what has happened is God has given us a lifeline. Now it's time for the modern day plantation soldiers called athletes to line up their minds and their energy and their spirit with their people. And I think it's time now for open dialogue. And there should be no black leader who puts their hat in their hand and go and have secret and private meetings with the rich man, begging for the crumbs that fall from his table. It's now time for us to build a table of our own and to talk about a real relationship with the NBA, with the NFL, with the Major Baseball League Association, and the plight of black people. That's what we